Hi, fourth grade. Today we're going to be taking a look at improper fractions. So the word improper, we think, okay, it's not proper, it's not the right or normal way that we see a fraction. So improper fractions. Quickly, let's review. Looking at a fraction, the number on top is called the numerator, the number on the bottom is called the denominator. So with improper fractions, we see that the number on top, the numerator, is greater than the denominator. So that means that the fraction is equal to or greater than 1 whole. So again, we know that a fraction is improper if the numerator is greater than the denominator. So the problem is we don't like improper fractions, okay? We don't like to use them in math. We want to make them proper again. And the way that we do that is we use division. So I want to remind you that when we look at a fraction, that fraction bar that separates the numerator and the denominator is actually a dividing line. So we could pronounce this 20/8, or we could say it's 20 divided by 8. And that's exactly what we're going to do in order to make this fraction improper again. Excuse me, to make it proper again. So can anyone predict what kind of number we're going to make? Because we can't make it a fraction, a normal fraction. So what we're going to do is we're going to make it into a mixed number. So here's a reminder of a mixed number. A mixed number has a whole number and a fraction. So in order to create a mixed number, you need a whole number and a fraction, and that's what we're going to be making. So we now know that we want to make our improper fraction 20/8 into a mixed number. But how do we do that? The answer is we rewrite it as a division problem that we're more comfortable with. And so we're going to rewrite it using our house like we typically do when we do long division, okay? So we're going to change 20/8 into 20 divided by 8. So let's go ahead and do that now. 8 can go into 20 2 times. Well, we know that 8 cannot go into 2, but 8 can go into 20 2 times. 2 times 8 is 16. 20 minus 16 is 4, okay? And we know that 8 cannot go into 4, and there are no other digits to bring down. So that means that 4 is our remainder. So 8/20 is 2 with a remainder of 4. Well, we're not quite done yet because that doesn't really look like a mixed number, and we're trying to make it look like a mixed number. Okay, well, let me give you a hint. The 2 is the whole number in our mixed number, so that stays the same. You're not going to change the 2. But what you're going to do with that remainder 4 is that's going to be the fraction portion of our mixed number. Okay, so it's actually going to become the numerator. Keep that in mind. So that's going to become part of the fraction. Can you guess what the denominator might be? I'll give you a hint. It's the original denominator that we looked at. So this was our original improper fraction. It was 20/8. So 8 was the denominator. So 8 is going to stay the denominator. So 20/8 is actually equal to 2 4/8. So the 4 became the remainder. So we went from an improper fraction now to a mixed number, which is proper and good. Okay, well, some of you might still be feeling a little bit confused. Like, how does 20/8 become the mixed number 2 4/8? So that's what I want to show you right now using a visual. Okay, so I've taken each of these squares and I've broken them into 8s. All right, and we're going to count 20 of them and see if that becomes our mixed number. So here's 1/8, 2/8, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is 8/8 or 1 whole, right? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So that's 16/8 or 2 wholes, right? We see 1 whole, 2 whole, okay? So we're at 16. Let's keep counting. 17, 18, 19, 20. So we can see right here we have 20/8 shaded, which gives us 2 wholes, and then our remainder is 1, 2, 3, 4/8 left over. So when we studied mixed numbers, you could have easily told me that this picture represented 2 and 4/8. So that's exactly what we've done. This is 20/8 or 2 and 4/8. Let's review mixed numbers one more time. Okay, so I've broken all of these boxes into fourths. Okay, so let's see if we can come up with a mixed number. So if I shaded all of these in, okay, so I've shaded these in, what mixed number would this represent? Okay, well, we're going to first look for the whole number. This is 1 whole, 2 whole, 3 whole. So our whole number in the mixed number is 3. And then we're going to have a fraction. We see that only 1 out of 4 is shaded. So our mixed number would be 3 and 1/4. Well, what would this look like as an improper fraction? All you have to do is count the number of shaded boxes, and they are all broken into fourths. So the denominator is going to be 4. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 3 and 1/4 is equal to the improper fraction 13/4. Do you see the relationship there? Let's look at another example. So here we have 9/4. We know it's an improper fraction because the numerator is greater than the denominator. 9 is greater than 4. Does anyone remember how do we solve or how do we make improper fractions proper again? Okay, well if you said divide, you are absolutely correct. Remember that this is a dividing bar, right? The fraction bar is like the same as a division sign. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 9 and we're going to divide it by 4. Okay? Well, I know that 4 can go into 9 twice. 2 times 4 is 8. 9 minus 8 is 1. 4 cannot go into 1, and there's nothing else to bring down. So that means that that 1 is the remainder. Okay? So now we have 2 remainder 1. How do we put this into a mixed number? Okay, well remember that that 2 represents the whole number in the mixed number, so we keep that as a 2. The 1 becomes the numerator, right? It becomes the top of the fraction in the mixed number. What is the denominator? Well, we need to look at the original denominator. The original denominator was 4. So 9/4 is equal to 2 and 1/4. Okay, and we can easily visualize this with a picture. So again, the improper fraction 9/4 is equal to the mixed number 2 and 1/4. We see this in our picture, right? We have 1 whole, 2 wholes, and 1/4. So that's where we see 2 and 1/4, okay? We could also look at it as an improper fraction, and we could count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9/4 total. So do you see how these two things are related? They're the same thing, but instead of an improper fraction, we're then left with a mixed number, which is what we want. Let's look at one more example. This one's a little bit different. So here's our improper fraction. I'm going to call it IF for improper fraction. 12/3. Okay, we want to turn that into a mixed number. So we're going to remind ourselves that the fraction bar is the same as a division sign. So we're going to rewrite it as 12 divided by 3. Well, you're probably thinking to yourself, oh, well, 3 goes evenly into 12. 12 divided by 3 is 4. And there's nothing left over. So what's the answer? Well, the answer is 4. So 12/3 is actually equal to 4. And we can easily see this in the picture, right? We see our thirds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this is 12/3, or we easily see that it's 1, 2, 3, 4 as the whole. So rather than a mixed number, it's just a whole number. So in this case, sometimes an improper fraction isn't a mixed number, it's just a whole number. Okay, so I want to just really quickly review the steps to making an improper fraction into a proper mixed number or a whole number. Step 1, divide the numerator by the denominator. Step 2, whatever the remainder is becomes the new numerator of your fraction, and the denominator stays the same. So I want you to pause the video and try to do 2 or 3 problems on your own. The first improper fraction I want you to change into a mixed number or a whole number is 32/8. So pause the video and try to solve this one on your own right now. Okay, hopefully you got the answer 4. The next improper fraction I want you to try doing on your own tonight is 58/6. So pause the video, try that one on your own. And the last one I want you to do is 33/6. Okay, so you can pause the video, you can rewind, but you have 3 problems to do on your own tonight, changing improper fractions into mixed numbers or whole numbers using division or pictures. Okay, great job, 4th grade.